Zac Welch is here on NSN Tonight. Zac, first week of fall camp. How's it been going out at Wolfpack Park?
It's been going great. You know, the team's really gelling together, and especially the offensive line. I think gathering from the experience that we had last year, you know, it's not obviously not the year that anyone wanted, but I think since we're all got another year of experience, all of us got some good playing time in and got some of that experience to kind of propel us into this year, and I think it's going to make really big leaps for us.
One of the big changes for the Wolfpack this offseason was adding Angus McClure, the former offensive line coach at Nevada, coming back as the offensive line coach. You worked with him in 2019. He's been one of 3 offensive line coaches you have played under. So what's a little bit different about Angus? What do you enjoy about getting to learn the game on the offensive line from him?
You know, Coach Angus, he's a really experienced coach, and he's been around a lot of programs. He coached in Nebraska, he coached at Buffalo, he coached a lot of good players. He's got a lot of first-round draft picks that he's coached. So he's a really experienced coach, and he knows pretty much any offense or defensive scheme you can count on. He was a D-line coach for UCLA for a couple years. So he's got a plethora of information that he can share with us. And going to meetings with him is just incredible because he can explain both sides of the ball. He can explain what the exact defensive lineman's going to do before the clip is even started. And it's pretty interesting to see, and I think it's really going to help us this year, propel us into the future.
I have to say plethora is one of my favorite words, so I'm really glad that Zac just dropped that for us here on NSN Tonight. Obviously, so much pride in running the ball at Nevada, Zac, and so much pride in the Union. How much pride do you take in being a part of it, and are you guys feeling pressure this year in terms of taking another step?
I take so much pride in being part of the Union. You know, it's traditionally been one of the better groups in college football in the offensive line, and I think that we're trying to meet that standard, and we're trying to, run the ball hard. We're trying to protect the quarterback. I think we're just trying to do everything we can to put our team in a place for success.
What are the biggest things that give you optimism that this offensive line is going to meet the Union standard, which, like you said, is very, very high, that this offensive line will get back to what is required to win a lot of football games in 2023?
I think the fact that this is one of the closest offensive line groups I've ever been a part of. So everyone loves everyone. Everyone's good friends. When we go out to, hanging out at the movies or whatever, everyone goes. So I think that's a pretty rare case to see the whole group gel, and even the new guys who just got here a couple, 5-6 weeks ago, they're already gelling with the group, really well. So I think that's huge to playing as 5 as 1, and then obviously chemistry is huge on the offensive line, as it is in all sports, but especially offensive line, because you have to play 5 as 1 in order to be successful, and I think that's what's going to take us to the next step this year.
I know we touched on this storyline about a year and a half ago now, but you started your career at Nevada, ended up leaving for a year, playing JC ball, and then found your way back to Reno last year, so now another year in the books. Just tell us about that whole journey and finding your way back into silver and blue.
It's been pretty crazy, honestly. It's been a pretty journey for my life. I started off in high school, a wide-eyed kid, wanted to, Division I football, excited to come here. Came here, stuff didn't work out as well as I wanted. I thought the grass was greener on the other side, so I took a leap, and some stuff happened. I went to JUCO, and then I got a call from, Coach Vi, asked me if I wanted to come back, and I jumped on it right away. It's a great place here, and sometimes the grass isn't greener on the other side.
Is that the biggest thing you learned from your year at junior college? And I guess what was the feeling to know that Nevada still would have welcomed you back even though you had left this place at one point?
Yeah, I think that was a great feeling because it meant that I left a good impression, and you always want to leave a good impression on people you come into contact with. But it was a great feeling. I love that I'm back, and it's been really awesome. So, yeah.
And if you look at last year, year 1 under Coach Wilson, they really had to hit the ground running. How different is it in year 2 in terms of comfortability and, frankly, talent on the field, too?
I think we've definitely gotten some talent in. We've definitely gotten more talent in. And in terms of comfortability, I think that now we just know the standard. So last year we were kind of building that standard, kind of building those bricks up, and now we know the standard and know the expectation, and we just have to rise to meet it every day and exceed it every day in practice.
Quite a few new guys behind you, new running backs, new quarterbacks. I guess what have been your impressions of the quarterback play that you've seen thus far? Obviously, Brendan Lewis from Colorado getting a lot of the first string reps. Seems like he's a guy who can really make some plays both with his arm and his leg. But just your thoughts on the new skill position players in the backfield.
I think the new guys are amazing. I think we have a lot of talent in the backfield. I think we have a lot of talent all over the field, honestly, offense and defense. And I think everyone that got brought in can help us. And I think it's going to be an exciting year.
I know Coach Angus, who actually lives just a couple of blocks from me, we were in the same community, had you guys all over not too long ago, cooked some stuff up. So I guess what was on the grill and what kind of rating system would you give him as a chef or a barbecue connoisseur?
So he made a tri-tip, and he made it with this thing called a sous vide, and then he seared it on the barbecue, and he had mac and cheese and chips and a bunch of stuff. And honestly, we loved it. The whole O-line just pounded it. It was really good. It was really tender, and it was some really good tri-tip, honestly.
I can't imagine it's one tri-tip
really
for an entire offensive line. So how many tri-tips are we talking about him throwing down?
Oh God, I think there was 14.
Everybody gets one.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot for sure.
I didn't take Angus McClure as a sous vide guy, but that's next level cooking right there.
Oh.
Before we let you go, Zach, back on the field, pads are going to be coming on next week. Obviously, it's still a lot of work to be done in fall camp. What are you hoping gets done throughout the rest of August?
I hope we can just establish the run game and be confident in our run game. So I want that to be something. Well, we all want that as a union to be something that the team can look to as if nothing else is working, we can run the ball. We can get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yards on every given play. And I think that's important. I think guys like Andrew Madrigal and Kai Arneson are really helping lead the group and really helping to bring the young guys up. And we're really trying to establish that culture of just being tough and physical. And, if nothing else is working, look towards us. Look towards us to run the ball and look towards us to bring the team along with us. So
I think Pack fans love to hear it. Before we let you go, we'll give you the mic. Zach, anything else you want to add before we say goodbye?
Just go Pack. Go Pack.
Simple as that. He is Zac Welch, offensive lineman for Nevada. Thanks for joining us here on NSN Tonight, Zach.
Of course. Thank you so much.